You might not know this or not, but the import list is actually the smallest that it has been in a very long time. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So Hallis dropped this in our Discord earlier and was like, this is everything. This is what we currently don't have ported in to the TCG. And I was looking at this list and I'm genuinely impressed by how small that this list is. And I mean, we're going to go over a majority of these just to kind of refresh your memory as to what some of these horrible cards actually are. So the Onkaribo here, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, discard this card, target one monster in either graveyard, except this card, and special summon it to your field, but send it to the graveyard during the end phase. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you add a monster reborn from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then during the end phase of, it's during the end phase of this turn that you can do that. So it's a monster reborn searcher. I don't know, I assume it's because of the Onk that we haven't actually got this, but okay. The true Exodia, if the only monsters on the field are this card and the 4 forbidden normal monsters with different names, your opponent wins the duel. This was a book promo from Kazuki Takahashi that I highly doubt we're ever going to see. Oh, and of course, Horakti should also be in here before somebody's going to be like, well, Robbie, you didn't include Horakti in here. Well, you know, it is what it is at this point in time. You already know that Horakti is always going to be one of the cards missing. But anyway, Gandora Gigarays cannot be normal summoner set, must be special summoned from the hand by sending 2 other monsters from the hand and or field to the graveyard. Gain 3 attack for each banished card, and then once per turn you pay half your life points, apply one of these effects depending on the number of Gandora monsters with different names in your graveyard. So 1, destroy all other cards on the field, 2, banish all cards on the field, 3 plus banish all other cards on the fields and in the graveyards. Card's pretty good. Alright, and then of course we have the Chronicle Sorceress. Activate one of these effects, light, send the blue eyes, or 1 card that mentions it from your deck to the graveyard, or dark, send 1 Dark Magician or 1 card that mentions it from your deck to the graveyard, except for Chronicle Sorcerer. You know, it's okay. Oh god, the card arts that feature some of the cards. Oh boy. So once per turn, if you would special summon a monsters from the graveyard, you can make your opponent lose 1,000 life points, and if they do, you gain 500 life points. And that's a once per turn. Ew. We also have the red arrows. Target 2 face-up monsters in the extra monster zone. Banish them until the end phase. And you gotta love the Sky Striker art. And then we have the Sweet Room Maid. If a card of cards is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, target 1 card in either graveyard and shovel it into the deck. You can only activate 1 Sweet Room Maid per turn. And then we have the Switch Point. If your opponent controls 3 or more monsters, choose one of them. Make your opponent send either it or all other monsters they control to the graveyard. Their choice. That's so bad. Alpha Summon, target one of your banished monsters, and 1 monster of your opponent's is banished. Special summon your monster to your opponent's field. If you do, special summon that monster to your opponent's. So basically, you target 1 of each, and then you switcheroo them onto each other's fields. This is the best way to go about it. The Mystic Potato, the thing that got our dear friend Cyberstein banned. If this card on the field is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 dark monster with 15 or less attack from your deck. Man, R.I.P. The Burning Dragon. If this card is in your hand and your opponent controls 2 or more monsters, special summon this card. If this card is normal, special summon, discard a spell. Show all spell and trips on the field. This card's actually pretty decent. I'm not going to lie about that. Alright, we have Rose Papillion. During your main phase, you contribute summon 1 level 7 or higher face-up attack position monster, in addition to your normal summoner state. You can only gain this effect once per turn. If you control another insect monster, this card can attack directly. This card's awful. We have the Three-Eyed Ghost. You can send this card from your field to the graveyard to add 1 level 10 dark monster from your deck to your hand. Why does it have to be from the field, by the way? It's so bad. The Dandy White Lion. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, special summon 3 white fluff tokens in defense position. You cannot switch summon from the extra deck the turn that you activate this effect, but this does facilitate Egyptian god support. The Terminal Offering. During your main phase, pay 1,000. You can deduct up to 3 normal summoner sets this turn, not just 1. And during the battle phase, you can pay 500 to immediately after the effect resolves normal summon. You can only use each effect once per turn. Gotta love our ultimate offering. And then, of course, we have the Over Future Fusion. Reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck. Send 1 fusion material mentioned on it from the name from the deck to the graveyard, and if you do, you cannot special summon monsters with that name, nor activate that monster effect for the rest of the turn, or you can fusion summon one dark fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from your graveyard. Honestly, this was a cool card in terms of design. It misses the book. We also have the Rescue Hedgehog. You can banish this card. You control special summon 2 level 3 or lower monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level from each other. 1 normal and 1 effect, but their effects are negated and destroy them during the end phase. This card does have application. I think that this card's pretty good. Now, of course, we do have the Power Pro Lady Sisters. We're probably never going to get this. I think, honestly, that the Power Pro Ladies, in theory here, this card is actually really hilarious. Same thing here with the Knights. And we'll pull up the Rhoda here, just in, like, fine detail here. Honestly, these are just cards that we're just not going to get. Like, that's just the sad part of it. Unfortunately, I really do wish that we would get the chance to see some of these. Obviously, a little side note here, there are infinite normal monsters. Like, look at this, that we have not gotten. All right, like, I think a majority of this page is normals, and they've been porting these in speed duels. All right, like, look at this. I'm halfway down here on this, and then of course there's just little things that we haven't gotten in here that really do kind of matter all that much. But just also, I mean, the Shuttleroid as well is something that we haven't got ported in. But there's plenty of things that are kind of just sitting here on the back burner that were just like, okay. But in terms of immediate port-in options out of the more fairly recent sets, I mean, Collecti here is definitely one of those cards that I got to toss in here, because we're probably never going to get this, just like True Exodia. So kind of keep that in mind. The Junk Dragonlet. If you control a Synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can special summon 1 Dragon Junk once returned this way, and then when you Synchro a monster, declares an attack, banish this card from your graveyard. That monster you control gains 800 attack till the end of this turn. That's awful, but I guess it's an extender. Junk Mail, a Synchro monster, use this card as material, cannot be destroyed by battle. That's good. If this card is in your graveyard and you control a Synchro monster with a Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in its original name, during the turn that this card, except the turn this card is into the graveyard, you can banish this card, you can special summon and then banish it. That's actually pretty decent. I like that. The Burgundy, the Magical Elf. If this is discarded, if a card of cards is discarded from your opponent's hand by a card effect, while you control this monster, except during damage, you can inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each discarded card. Dark World application. Imagine. This card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, and discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. That's awful. And then we have the Lightbringer Lucifer, which we're not going to get anytime soon. Then, of course, we have the Altarts of Ray, the Flying Pegasus, the Invocation, the Dragon Maid Hospitality, the Guilford the Lightning, the Dark Magician, of course, the Rhoda, and, of course, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, which we all know we're not going to get. And then, of course, the Blue Eyes Ultimate, the Lilla, the Kishisakill, the Shizuku, the Juggernaut Libby, the Dragon Maid, and Makaba. I don't know why we don't have these yet. And then, of course, we have the Promo Brionic, which wherever we're putting the Infernoid stuff, I kind of think we'll see this. But on Synchro Summon, you discard 1 card, target 1 card on the field, return it to the hand. If this card is summoned from the graveyard, you discard 1 card, target 1 card on the field, return it to the hand. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. Technically, I can still summon this during the opponent's turn to get the bounce. Then we have Camellia here. Must be link summon. You can only special summon 1 of these once per turn. If you have 3 or less spells in your graveyard, summon 1 Sky Strike a card from your deck to the graveyard. This card's really good. And if this card is sent to the graveyard and target 1 monster your opponent controls, special summon this card to the field, and if you do, send that monster to the graveyard. And then shift control of this card during the end phase of this turn. It stinks that it puts a Sky Striker back in the main monster zone, but that's fine. We also have the Blaze, the Supreme Ruler of Dragons. Once per turn, detach 1 from this card, destroy 1 card in your hand or field, and 1 card your opponent controls, and then you can banish 2 dragons and or fire monsters and or from the hand or graveyard special summon this card, but return it to the extra deck when it leaves the field. I love this card. We have the Starring Knight. 2 level 4s, detach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 light monster from your hand if this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, and then you can target 1 light fairy monster you control, special summon this card, and if you do attach that targeted monster's card as material. This card was okay. And then the long-forgotten Magi Magician Girl. Now remember, it's 2 level 6s to make this. Detach 1 material from this card, banish 1 card from the hand to activate 1 of these effects. So you can target 1 monster the opponent controls, take control of that target till the end of the turn. Or you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon that target. You know, someday we will get the chance to get this. And then, of course, Collecti, the creator of cannot be normal, something must be special, something by attributing 3 monsters. Original names are Slifer, Obelisk, and Winged Dragon Ra. This card special summon cannot be negated, and that player that special summons this card wins the duel. Good times. Well, that's currently everything that we're where are they going to import this at? So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.